Good morning. This morning we're going to be visiting a neighborhood about 40 minutes from here, but we're going to be visiting it from the top using the cable cars. So I'm going to be walking up there. First, I'm going to get a coffee, and then we're going to get going. So I'll see you once we get there. Okay, we've arrived at the last metro station before getting on to the cable cars. I'm just going to show you where we are. So we left from this metro station here, and we went all the way up to here. So we're here right now, and we're going to be taking the cable cars here, 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 and up here as well. So yeah, so let's go. So I had to go through quite a bit of gymnastics to get here because I didn't have any internet connection, and for some reason the major internet networks were down this morning, so I couldn't get a data plan to get me to the metro. So I had to wing it. And on top of that, I couldn't get any cash from the local ATMs. After trying multiple ATMs, I still couldn't get any cash using my Wise card, the Visa. So I had to look for a coffee shop that accepted credit cards, and unfortunately, that's not a popular concept in this part of the city. Okay, this is the exit. However, we're not leaving the metro system. We're staying inside, and we're going to go straight to the cable cars. Okay. So we're going to be getting on to one of those cars. I just have to look for a cable car that has clean windows. Let's try this one. Actually, I should have brought some Windex. Not very clean. Unfortunately, I think they're all pretty much dirty windows. Anyways, let's take this one here. I think they're pretty much all the same. Alrighty. So we're getting a top-down view of a couple of neighborhoods in Santo Domingo. I don't know all the names, but I do know that the first neighborhood that we're going over is called Los Guandules. Los Guandules. And Los Guandules has a reputation. Oh my God. Los Guandules has a reputation for being a dangerous neighborhood. And as you can see from these pictures here, it's very underdeveloped. Fortunately, the rest of Santo Domingo is not as bad, but there are many other neighborhoods that are similar to this one, mostly in the northern part of Santo Domingo, pretty close to where we are right now. So we're approaching the river. The river's called Osama. I don't know if you pronounce the Z or not. Wow, this is incredible. These are reminiscent of shacks or favelas similar to Rio de Janeiro, just not on the same scale. So what we're seeing here is the river Osama, the Osama River. So if we follow the river going south, we eventually reach the Santo Domingo port. So the music that you're hearing right now is not, it's not coming from me. It's actually coming from the micro neighborhoods that we're following that are beneath us. Just goes to show how loud the music is played around here. Well, pretty much everywhere in Santo Domingo and the Dominican Republic in general. So this is something. This is an amazing view. It really gives you a pretty unique perspective about poverty. I read on some blog that Santo Domingo would be really nice if it had a beach. But aside from that, it's a city that's more or less rich, but with pockets of poverty. My own take on this is that Santo Domingo is a poor city with pockets of wealth here and there. Now, what we're seeing right here, right now, this is extreme poverty, but the area where I was at, El Mion, it's a residential area, but to leave the district of El Mion and to walk towards Piantini, if you watch I think it's the second video that I did or the first video that I did in Santo Domingo, it's one of the walking tours that I did of the neighborhood close to where I was. It's not as poor as we see here, although it's pretty close. The only difference being is that it's not as dangerous. So we're headed towards the second station. So the neighborhoods that we're headed towards right now, I don't think they're dangerous. The neighborhood that we were in, Los Guandules, that is a dangerous neighborhood that I would not visit even during the day. I'm going to pause the camera until we take off again. Okay, we're taking off again. We're headed towards the third station. So this area here, I don't know the name of this particular neighborhood, but it's similar to one of the neighborhoods where I was walking around in my first video in Santo Domingo. I wouldn't consider this area dangerous, but again, you wouldn't want to be flashing around any kind of jewelry or any kind of demonstration of wealth. So in all, there are 4 stations. So the first stations, after the second station, or maybe I think it's the third station, we have to transfer into the final leg of this trip. So it costs 35 pesos to take the metro and do the four legs or the 3 legs of the teleférico, the cable cars, and then you can come back and go back to your original metro station where you actually got on. All of that for 35 pesos, because you're basically staying inside. Ooh, we just stopped. Power failure. I was afraid of that. Getting stuck in a cable car in this kind of heat is generally not very good. Well, as long as the door doesn't open by accident, I'm okay. But you know what? Just be on the safe side. I'm just going to move a little bit away from the door. And I'm just going to hold on up here. And I'm going to pray. The Dominican Republic is actually has a lot of religious influence. I'm amazed at the number of churches that we find all over the city. Rich, poor, middle class, you name it. There are churches everywhere and a lot of schools that are actually religious schools. Primary schools that are religious, high schools, colleges, universities, almost all of them have religious names. Okay, well, if I have to jump at least, I'm not too high. Still, I wouldn't want to jump. These power failures, by the way, are extremely common here in the Dominican Republic. I've been here a little over 2 months, and isn't there isn't a week that goes by that there isn't a power failure. And when it's not a power failure, it's the internet that goes down. If it's not the internet that goes down, it's a plumbing problem. If it's not a plumbing problem, it's something else. So there's these inconsistencies with the Dominican Republic that always surprises me. Because on one day you can have, sometimes the Dominican Republic appears to be a highly sophisticated, well-developed country, and then the very next day you're basically in a third world country. Not sure what river this is, but a lot of green space here. All of that lush green with the amount of rain that they have in this country. It's understandable that you'd have such lush green. When the sun is out, it's very nice. It's very tropical. But the heat, boy, I tell you, the heat is overwhelming, and the humidity is incredible. I would say that here in the Dominican Republic, the best place to be is either in the interior, where there's a lot of forest, a lot of activities like zip lining in the forest and stuff like that. Otherwise, you really want to be close to the beach. Being in this city, in this heat, is not the best. At least we're getting a nice breeze through these, we have air ducts in these cable cars that you can see here. Right here, those are air ducts. You also have air ducts up here, so that's kind of nice. You also have an emergency button. Not that you would want to use it, but anyways. always hear the music below us. It's amazing because we're actually pretty high up, and yet the music travels all the way up here. So this is kind of indicative of how loud they play the music. Okay, so we're approaching the first leg before transferring. So I'm going to stop the camera here, and I'm going to continue as we get started again on the final leg. Okay, so we just got off one of those. We're transferring now to another one. Let's take a blue one this time. All right. And off we go. Off we go. We're getting there. All right, now we're going. You can see the mountains in the background. I don't know if you can see the mountains on this video because I'm using a wide angle, but that's an area that I would have liked to visit a little bit more. There are a couple of areas that I wanted to visit that I didn't get a chance to visit. I wanted to go in La Semana, which is north of the island, and I wanted to also wanted to go in a place called Pedernales. Pedernales is completely on the southwest of the island, which apparently has some of the most amazing beaches that you can find in the whole country, even better than La Semana. And of course I wanted to do the interior of the country. I wanted to do some zip lining and stuff like that. But especially I wanted to get a sense of the difference in lifestyle between the interior of the country and the outside. Another place that has cable cars is in Medellin. One of the expats that I met when I was in Bávaro, he had recommended that I first of all try out the cable cars here in Santo Domingo, and to also try out the cable cars in Medellin. I don't think it's the only. I don't think Santo Domingo and Medellin in Colombia are the only two cities to have cable cars in Latin America. So far, from these cable cars, these are the best views that I've been able to get. So we're approaching Charles de Gaulle, which is the final station. I don't know if you can hear the street sounds. But I can assure you that the street sounds are pretty loud. All right, so this is it. So this is Charles de Gaulle, nothing special actually. I've been here once already, and it's okay. There's nothing major going on here. It's not a dangerous area. Can't see much through these shades here, but anyways, I'm gonna stop the video here, and that's it. All right. Hope you enjoyed it. Cheers.